Hi, everyone. I am Lottie Cooper with LottieCooper.com and InspirationalCounseling.com. I have a master's in body-centered clinical psychology. I've trained as a massage therapist, cranial sacral, reconnective healing, theta healing, matrix energetics, hypnotherapy, and a lot of other modalities to support you in your highest health, wellness, and healing. So today's topic is on men's mental health and well-being. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to share some insights that I have learned over my whole life, but over the past 20 years of working with thousands of people through my coaching, counseling, and healing practice, including groups all over the world. So I invite you to just take a deep breath and allow yourself to receive some information and awareness you may already have or that is new to you. So one of the key factors in health is learning how to be present with what's happening now. So today, I'm going to be sharing some insights, awareness, some tips, and some tools. And also, I'm going to guide you through a process that will help you release some old trauma, negative belief structures out of your body so you'll feel lighter and more energized afterwards. And it's a gift I'm giving you today while watching this group call on this summit. Also, if you enjoy what you see and you want to continue to work with me, you can contact me and get a free consultation, which will be afterwards. So offered afterwards. So again, just take a deep breath and notice, even while I'm speaking, how do you feel in your body? A lot of times we spend most of our energy in our mind and our mental thoughts and processes. What do we need to do? How to fix things? What are the solutions towards things? How often do we could just take a small breath, deep breath, and release? So in men's health, we get unhealthy or dis-ease because we have stress in our body. You've heard stress kills. So where does stress come from? Stress comes from the external environment, from foods, bad foods, from too much media, from too much stimulus, from environments. Stress comes from internal thinking, and that's negative. Stress can come from other people. Stress can come from bills, media. All these are stressors in our lives. So one of the big things is, how do you learn to release stress naturally, without pills, without doing things? So we'll be discussing that as part of today in terms of mental health. Another thing is we have negative belief structures. So if you have things from your childhood that tells you you're not enough, or not lovable, or religious programming that goes against your sexuality, or your interracial marriage, or these different things that cause stress in your body because it goes against what your family wants for you, that can get locked up inside and cause disease. So when we heal, there's basics, right? There's getting enough food, there's getting enough sleep, having 8 glasses of water or more a day, right? There's things you know how to do on a daily basis for your health, getting enough exercise. I know these are basics, but a lot of people forget the basics. So one of the main things is, how do you prioritize basics? You can remind yourself, you can put it on a calendar, right? You can ask for support from your friends. Hey, I'm slipping on my basics, help remind me. So these are just small things you can do, right, to increase your health. So just take a deep breath and notice. You'll be able to re-listen to this or take some notes. These are simple reminders to support you and your health. That's right. So when I've worked with my clients, both men, women, and couples, one of the main things for men is getting validation from the outside world, right? You're taught to be tough. You're taught to be strong, provide. All these pressures are on you to validate what you define as success. So one of the things I've helped men do is reprogram what it means to be a successful man, right? Is it having a family or not having a family, having your own business, a certain type of income? Those are all external goals that you can meet or you don't meet. So what happens when you don't meet your external goals? You might start thinking negatively of you. You start collapsing inside. You might push people away. You might get depressed, right? These are all the things that might happen. You might procrastinate. So what do you do about it? So the first thing you can do is recognize that your downward spiral has to do a lot with external circumstances, right? Or internalized thinking. So when you have insight into that, at least now you have a basis of like, oh, I could possibly do something about that or possibly not. Is it in my control or is it not in my control? If it's not in my control, deep breath and release. Let yourself know that's not in my control. No point in stressing about it. It's not in my control. I know that sounds very simple out loud, but if you actually do that, you'll have more ease in your body, less pain in your mind, and more presence with whomever you're with. And when you're present, you can get things done, you can prioritize, you can love easier, you can have more intimacy. It makes things a lot easier. You're going to see me breathing like this a lot. Deep breath in, longer exhale. So during this presentation, if that's one thing that you get, that's when you do a longer exhale, it puts you, it's called the parasympathetic nervous system. When we're stressed, we're in fight, flight, or freeze, and we're amped up. And that's hard on our nervous system. It can cause anxiety, right? It can cause stress diseases. And when we relax, rest and digest, the body naturally starts to heal itself. So a big thing for health is to learn how to relax in a good way. And breathing doesn't cost any money. You can do it anytime. That's right. Taking a slow, deep breath. Another thing that might happen to you is if you're a highly sensitive person and are aware of it or not aware of it, or more empathic, even though you're taught to be tough, you might absorb other people's energies, their anger, their sadness, their frustration, their judgments. So you might feel a little bit beat up at the end of the day, but you don't let yourself release or express it because you feel like you're supposed to be really super strong if you were taught by, and most men are, by traditional programming. So one of the things I teach my clients is we increase your capacity to feel your own feelings, your sadness, your anger, your disappointments. You're allowed to have your feelings. It's beautiful to have your feelings. That's right. It's beautiful to have your feelings. And if you're in a love relationship, right, and whatever sexuality preference you have, but especially with women, it's like if you share your feelings and vulnerability, there's a tenderness there. Women, in the most part, naturally go towards you, right? And they will want to care for you in a good way. And if you allow that in, you'll feel nurtured. So you don't have to be Mr. Tough Guy all the time. I know these are generic stereotypes, but I'm speaking to this because even if you've learned how to receive your feelings and all these things, there might be a subconscious programming saying you shouldn't do that. So one of the things I've learned how to do is a guided visualization process to open up your mind, and it's called, and I guide you into, it's called a theta brainwave. So when we're 0 to 8 years old, we absorb all the negative beliefs from our parents and the positive ones too. But if one says one thing and another parent says something else and they're contradictory, it causes a conflict inside. Dad says it's okay to do this. Mom says it's not okay to do this. Who do I listen to? Either one I listen to, I'm going to feel some tension inside because I want to please and get validation from both of them. So then that negative belief gets processed inside. And when we try to move forward, we get pushed and pulled and we've forgotten about it because now it's in our operating system. We learn from 0 to 8. So being guided to a visualization is like a self-hypnosis state. What we do is we have God, source, whatever it doesn't matter what religion you're from, pull that belief structure, like I'm enough or not enough, I'm not good enough. If you have that, we pull that belief out and we put in I am enough. So now you're not rubbing against yourself, or I'm unlovable might be hidden down underneath because something happened to you and you made up in that moment, I'm unlovable, or otherwise I would have got this, and that didn't happen. I feel unlovable, right? So we pull out the belief I'm unlovable and we download into the body, I am lovable. So when you have a new program of I am lovable instead of unlovable, then when people do love you, you can actually let the love in. And allowing love in helps you release stress, right? It helps with your oxytocin. You can get more love, touch, and affection. You're allowing love in. So if you're always striving because you feel not good enough inside, if you learn to be good enough, then you can choose when you strive and when you can take care of yourself instead of striving for your goal, not able to focus on anything else until you've met the goal. You've missed out on a lot of your life with your family, life with your friends, because all you are is goal-oriented. So this is learning how to balance your feminine and your receptivity with your masculinity. Toxic masculinity, power over, right? Healthy masculinity, you can be focused, provide, and protect with discernment and boundaries, and honor your own inner feminine of receptivity, of nurturance, of love. We all have a masculine and feminine inside ourselves. So these are some of the awarenesses you can go on throughout the day to notice when you're acting from these different belief structures. And do you want to keep them? So one thing I do with some of my clients is journaling, right? Oh, I have a negative loop thought that's causing me harm, that's distracting me, that's putting me down. And we call that negative loop a lot of times the inner critic, right? So one things I teach is how do you allow this inner critic to now become your inner cheerleader. So instead of negative reinforcement in psychology, you use positive reinforcement, which is a much kinder way of moving forward. Instead of no pain, no gain, you're motivated because every day you get a little bit better, you've improved more, you've enjoyed it more, you've learned some lessons, and you're giving yourself gratitude and positive reinforcement for the improvements you make or the efforts that you make. So that's a really loving way to release stress and have higher mental health. So another thing that you can do for your mental health and physical well-being is recognize that when your body has pain or stress, you don't necessarily need to pop a pill for it. You can ask your body, share with me what's going on, right? And in that, your body might have a response, a memory, a feeling, an insight, and you can write that down, and that helps the body open up. So wherever there's pain, you can put your hand on that pain or that stress, bring awareness to it, bring love to that point of your body, and just it'll start to soften usually or heat up. You might get memories, thoughts, trying to fix it. Invite yourself to thank the mind, but that's not the focus, it's on the body. And you can allow the pain or the energy to release, or you might get insights in how to work with it. I do something called the instant mind shift perspective. And what it does is you get insight into the body, you work with colors, and you look at the resistance, you look at the pain, you look at the remedy, and you work with it to undo those patterns. So that's something that I teach. We're not going to do that in this moment, but I want to let you know that that is available to go deeper. But the first concept is learning that your body has wisdom and you can actually talk to it and feel what's going on in there. And when you slow down enough to do that, things start to heal. Like naturally, you know, when you get an ouchie when you were a kid, you just put your hand on it. So there's intuitive wisdom of touching where the pain is, be it a mental, emotional pain or a physical pain, and being present with yourself. So those are some things that you can learn, right? So again, take a deep breath. That was a lot of information. Good. So my expertise, one of them is to repattern the subconscious mind of negative thinking and download into the body some positive thinking. So I'm going to do a guided visualization today to give you a taste of that. And if you like this type of work and feel moved to work with me, as I said, just contact me at lottecooper.com for a free consultation. I'm here in divine service, okay? So for now, I'd like you to close your eyes. Obviously, if you're driving, you have to do this later, but close your eyes. That's right. And visualize your aura, which is the ball of light electromagnetic field around you. That's right. Just choose a color for your aura. Choose a color that represents health for you. That's right. And allow that to then go into a column into the center of the planet. Beautiful. So we're just going to be in this beautiful light that you've chosen, creating safety and love and light around you. That's right. So from here, I'm going to do a guided visualization to help clear some trauma, abuse out of your body. You just have to say yes to receive it. If you don't want to receive it, say no. So this is all free will based, but I'm going to put you in that theta brainwave so we can do some healing work right now as a gift to you. All right. So I want you to imagine going up through light lights and dark lights and light lights. That's right. Through the jelly-like substance of the laws, through the law of compassion. It's a pink cotton candy-like energy. Allowing the law of compassion to give compassion for all of you. That's right. Deep, deep compassion for all that you've gone through and all of who you are today. That's right. Good. Now imagine going up even higher into the whitest, brightest light you've ever seen. Deeper and deeper and deeper into that whitest, brightest light you've ever seen. And even deeper still. That's right. So from here, I'm going to have God, source, universe. If you're religious, use God. If you're spiritual, use source or universal energy, whatever works for you, or higher power. So God, source, commanded to download in everybody's field right here. I am worthy, deserving, safe, and secure, and have God, source's energy, knowledge, and wisdom that I am fully loved. Yeah, say yes within, if that's the download you would like to receive in your subconscious mind to repattern your brain. That's right. Good. Now we're going to do lovable. I'm worthy, deserving, safe, and secure, and have God's definition, knowledge, wisdom, and feeling of being lovable. Take a deep breath. That's right. Take a deep breath. Good. So if any part of you right now doesn't feel lovable, what we're going to do is we're just going to have God's source pull as much shock, trauma, abuse, self-abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, verbal abuse that you've received ever or given to another. Pull, cancel, send that to light, and replace it with self-acceptance and love. Yes, yes. So say yes if that's a healing you would like. Take a deep breath to receive. So allowing the light to clear that on a core level, a genetic level, a soul level, and resolve it on a past life, future level. Say yes, and you'll receive this download now. And just notice your body will probably be feeling lighter and lighter. That's right. Take another deep breath. We're going to do self-acceptance. That's right. I'm worthy, deserving, safe, and secure, and have God's sources, definition, knowledge, wisdom, and feeling of having self-acceptance now. That's right. Take a deep breath and release. Anything unlike that, we're sending down the column of light. That's right. To release into love and light. That's right. Just notice how you're feeling. We're going to download I am who I am. I'm worthy, deserving, safe, and secure, and have God's source, definition, knowledge, wisdom, and feeling of I am who I am. That's right. And just notice how that feels, being who you fully and truly are. Anything unlike that, God, source, pull, cancel, send to the light, and replacing it with unconditional love and full connection to source God now as that is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's right. Good. So now I'm just going to invite you to if you have any beliefs, negative beliefs you're ready to let go of. We don't have to know the story behind it. You're just ready to release them. Imagine that God's source is just pulling them out of the body now. That's right. And again, replacing it with self-acceptance and love. That's right. Take a deep breath. That's right. Okay. So just notice how your body's feeling. I invite you to bring your awareness back down, down, down into your heart. Just hold your heart, squeeze your arms, wiggle your toes, touch your legs, feel your body. That's right. Coming back into your body. Notice how you feel. You might have felt things come and go. You might have seen things. You might have seen nothing. You might have noticed nothing. And if you said yes, you still received it. These downloads take 24 to 72 hours to integrate, and they're permanent in your unconscious, subconscious mind. That's right. So if you had any resistance, or you have parts of you that had a bullying experience or a trauma from childhood, or your parents got divorced or something like that, and part of you emotionally didn't develop. So you're stuck at age 5, 7, 8, 10, 20, wherever you're stuck emotionally, those parts still need to grow up. So there's something called inner child wound work, where we can go back in time, rescue those parts, have them unattached from mom and dad or the caregiver, and then attached to you, and you get to reparent those parts. So when you're in a loving relationship, they don't act out. So when love is present, everything comes up to heal. So you might have had a honeymoon phase with your partner, you got along great, move in together, and all of a sudden, who do they become? Well, what's happens is whatever is strong in your field, positive or negative, the other person out of love will start to become a different person, because they're acting out their mother, their father, or your mother and your father. So when you get conscious, you might be acting out your parents' dynamics and slow down. You can do the inner child wound work, so you stop acting out those negative loyalty patterns. So that's a whole nother deeper conversation, but just to have that awareness that that's normal, that those things happen. And then it's your job to then work them out. You can work them out the slow way, which is with each other, or you could come to someone like me or someone else who does this type of work, and you can release those patterns through these guided visualizations and going back to the past, to the future, and talking to those parts of yourself and helping them grow up and emotionally mature. So I wanted you to know that's a big part of health, is growing up parts that got stunted at different emotional ages. That's a part of having good mental health. Also, when you grow those parts up, you'll have more energy for your business, your work, your profession, and also living your purpose. Because when you're more integrated and you clear out other people's energy out of your fields, societies, your parents, religions, what you're told to do, you can then find out what's innately true for you. And then you can put energy and love towards that and invite people to join you in that mission. And you're coming from an open-hearted place of love, right? And then everybody has the opportunity to participate as equals in a loving way. And that helps move things forward in a fluid, synchronistic way. So I know I'm using some spiritual terms here. If it doesn't work for you, just let them go. If it works for you and you resonate with them, great. I've worked with, people from NASA. My parents are physicists, so I grew up in Los Alamos. And so I grew up in that electrical engineering and, physics environment, right? I've worked with healers, I've worked with teachers, I've worked with corporate people, I've worked with moms. So, I've worked with dads, this is men's health. So understanding all these dynamics helps us move forward in our communications. Another thing I actually learned from Alison Armstrong, and she talks about men needing transition time. Like most men are single focused, they need transition time. So if you have a female partner who doesn't understand transition time, explaining, hey, after I'm done with a task or before I greet you when I come home, I need a few minutes of transition time, then women won't take it personally. So I wanted to add that in there. I know a lot of gender differences that are stereotypical, but have a lot of truth to them. That's one of them. The other thing is listening. Women, when they speak, you want to fix what they're saying. So find out what kind of listening the woman needs before she shares. Is she just venting and complaining and just dumping because she needs to get the energy out? Don't take it personally. Just let her get it out. Or is she saying something she needs advice on? So invite her, hey, are you asking for advice here? Is there some, is it something about your boss? Do I need to protect you in this? So find out what kind of listening the woman needs. And then you're her hero. If you just, listen, she feels better, give her a hug and move on. But if you ask her what type of listening she needs, that'll really help your relationships and it'll help you release a lot of stress. So I know I've explored a lot of different possibilities today. As I said, I've worked with thousands of people. So I'm just trying to touch on some basics you might have heard or haven't heard in review and give you some new pointers on how to move forward and how I could possibly serve you. So let's see if there's anything else I want to share with you today. Again, I'm taking a deep breath to just collaborate my thoughts together. I think that's about it. I want to thank you if you listened to this whole thing and enjoying what we have to share today. And so I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. I hope this has helped you, support you in your highest health and well-being. Feel free to share these tips with other people. And if you'd like to continue to connect with me, you can connect at lottecooper.com. inspirationalcounseling.com. I'm offering a free consultation. It's worth $250. And what it will be is 25 minutes to half an hour of you sharing some of the things that you need support with. And we can create a plan, what you might want to create for the next year to manifest and break down blocks and challenges you might have. And then I usually work with people over 6 months, either in a group or individual, to help you heal and attain your goals in a loving way while having balance with yourself and those that you care about. And it could be a spiritual goal, it could be a financial goal, business goal, could be a health goal. Also, there's things you can do for healing your body that we didn't talk a lot about, and I have a lot of knowledge of that. And so I want you to know that that's available. You can also reach me on LinkedIn, Lottie Cooper Inspirational Counseling, and on Facebook. So have a blessed day. And again, I'm taking another brief, deep breath and giving myself time. Yeah. So love to you. And I hope we meet again. So again, contact me for free consultation, lottecooper.com, and let's work together if this moved you. Okay. So have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you so much.